What up, fish tankers? How's it going? YouTube intro, talking really loud with a lot of emphasis for no reason. If you missed it, this is my recap part 2 of week number 2, because basically the first 2 days of week 2 were so eventful that I kind of just broke that off into its own video. That's already been released. You can check that out with all the rest of the videos I've done recapping what's happening in the fish tank right up there in that little playlist. And of course, if you want to check out more recaps like this, you can subscribe. Day 10. After the insanity of the night prior, with Simmons being ejected from the house in the most humiliating way possible, Morrow leaving of his own volition, and John having an emotional breakdown, Jet and the production crew decided to give them the night off and turn the cameras off for the night, give them some booze, pizza, and some much needed privacy. But the morning did tell quite the tale. Apparently John got way too drunk and was annoying once again. He threw up multiple times beside his bed, which is now in the laundry room for some reason. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the past, but John did mention on like day 4 or something like that, that he doesn't drink water. He only drinks coffee and energy drinks. Yes, so up until this point, the past 9 days, he has exclusively been drinking coffee and energy drinks because water has like fluoride in it, I don't know. Jet tries everything he can to rehydrate John. Bottled water, sparkling water, Gatorade. John refused them all.
I know you're feeling sick right now, and you're just trying to recover. You know, when I'm feeling low, sometimes I need inspiration. Talk about a crazy coincidence. This is Andrew Tate today, claiming it's hard to breathe and he has swelling all over his body. He also states that he's not allergic to anything, and he's only drinking water and coffee today. Water and coffee, man.
Gold Striker returns.
I brought you fluoride filtered water. You have to drink that.
Okay, I will.
There's no fluoride in that, okay?
For another mini challenge.
Can't wait. We're doing a mini challenge today. Today's mini challenge is called The Cell. Is there a better name? Also known as, what is one other name for this mini challenge? Also known as Getting Cozy. Ooh! I bet we're gonna have a good time.
The Cell Challenge, or as in retrospect I would like to call it, the Incel Challenge. I think that's a pretty fitting title. A simple challenge. Everyone needs to stay in bedroom 2 as long as they can. The last one to leave gets 3 fishbucks. Gold Striker pretty quickly rips the bed and starts sparring with John, making the place an extra stinky bad no-no time.
This is actually like hell.
While the fish are in bedroom 2, the production crew just tear up the house. TTS gets re-enabled, which begins like this meta for TTS moving forward that, I mean, I think the joke probably will run dry at some point, but as it was happening on this day, in case if you missed it, this was hilarious, the way this thing evolved, or I guess devolved. It started off with people targeting out John with encouraging messages after the emotional distress he had just endured.
Guys, please spin the bottle. Also, we love you, John.
Then they began adding more Johns to the sentence.
All right.
John, Johnny boy, John or Johnny John, the great John Traversal John Tent.
Then it devolved into just the word John and the letter J.
John N-O-J, John N-O-J, John J.
And finally, at the lowest possible form, just a bunch of J's.
I'm the only person here if I get...
I am your mom. I am your dad. I love you, John J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J.
Tunner.
I just sold my house so that I could J.
Alright.
Literally, though, John J. Keep it up, top J Love from Australia. Just kidding, John, I am not really from Australia. JJJJJJJ.
This went on for an extremely long period of time. They made so much money off this like time frame of people doing TTS. It was actually like insane. I saw someone on Reddit post this, so I don't know how true it is. Every 15 seconds there was a new text-to-speech message. TTS is about $100, I do believe, and at the time there were at the standard price, like it wasn't on a discount or anything. So they were making like $400 a minute. Damiel ends up leaving the room first, and then finally we get our first glimpse at the entity. Unfortunately, like the Shockmaster in WCW, his debut is completely overshadowed by something going through a wall.
What the fuck is making that noise?
John also accidentally gives himself a concussion. John ends up getting ejected from the room because of his actions. Day 11. By the morning, 4 sharks still remained in the cell. Sylvia needs to take a dump, so she leaves, which leads to Big Brain Jonathan yelling Bible verses through the karaoke machine. With the torture proving too much for the fish, Vance makes his biggest play possible, offering to split the winnings with the other 2 fish if they leave first. Vance is the prison cell challenge champion. Fish toys have been activated, and I honestly can't believe just how many of these had been sold. These things are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. I think Josie got like 6 new plushies, and I think there's 6,400 tokens. And 6,400 tokens will run you 500 American dollars. This is goblin insanity.
Goblin insanity.
Then Gold Striker in a new suit, which is an ode to John wearing nothing but suspenders on the upper half of his body.
You look like a strapping young lad.
Yes, I do.
I see you went shirtless today as well. Excellent.
He introduces the next miniature challenge.
John, we're doing the drinking water challenge. It's not actually a challenge, you just have to hydrate. Just drink a cup of this. I have non-fluoridated water coming here right now.
Okay.
And then another mini challenge.
Well, regardless, we're playing hide and seek. I'll be the first seeker.
A good old-fashioned game of hide and seek. While everyone is hiding, he proceeds to completely re-destroy the house with a weed whacker. Eventually, the high IQ'd fish realized the whole ordeal had been a troll and hide and seek wasn't actually being played. They were just hiding for no reason. And the final thing of the day, they were given another mini challenge, a Nerf gun Civil War challenge, men versus women. And Josie herself comes out on top by shooting Damiel in the head to win the battle royale. Day 12. A fairly casual day until Gold Striker comes over for dinner. Gold Striker ends up bumping the grand prize from 20,000 now up to 30,000. The TTSJ meta is still going, by the way.
We're bumping the prize up, 25,000. Should we say 30 yet?
Jason in a self-defense situation. jjjjjjjjjjjjjjjj.
The baby challenge is officially complete. Damiel and Josie won and each get 1 fish buck. Mostly because John's baby was legally dead. Letty and Vance almost caused World War III in the house by starting a secret baby shaking challenge. And Sylvia on multiple occasions slept through her baby crying.
Also, you 2 are responsible for the crime wave of endangering and shaking babies, which is the most demented thing I've seen in a reality show. Whose idea was that? Was that yours? No. Was it hers? Can you lift your glasses up and go to try to move your eyes for a second? That was demented. Don't shake babies, okay? Whether they're dolls or not.
Vance is also ordered to pay child support for almost destroying a child from the black community.
Vance, you were told to take care of that black baby. Here's the deal. You have to be punished. The next fish buck you earn, Vance, that's going to be child support paid to Letty. So you're down a fish buck right now, my friend. You need to step it up. You need to when I give you black babies to take care of. Actually, you know what? I'm not giving it to Letty because I don't like her. The next fish buck you earn, I'm going to be giving that to a black woman of my choice. Sounds good. Outside the house. Okay. That's on my own time.
And then Gold Striker sets up our next challenge. He has a bunch of his friends coming over to the tank, a bunch of esteemed guests.
We have some very hungry visitors coming by tonight. It could be a pack of wild animals. Could be a whole football team of black guys. Could be crooked cops ready to beat everybody's head in. We don't know, but they're hungry, okay? Could be a bunch of stinking refugees from the border. Could be a bunch of homeless guys down from Kennedy Plaza.
So they need to cook hundreds of hot dogs in 15 minutes.
This is gonna be such an epic night! Wieners! Yeah, wieners! Wieners! Power food! Oh! Ultimate power! We got some hungry guests coming. It is a secret, top secret surprise, but we need all these wieners cooked within the next 15 minutes. Fish, get to work.
So it turns out the guests never actually showed up. Who could have guessed that? And then the hot dog cooking challenge then turns into a hot dog eating challenge.
Let me see what the status is on our hungry animals. Damn! Darn it! Ah! Shnikes! Jeez. Turns out those hungry animals are nowhere to be found. What do you think about that? Shit! Damn! What are we gonna do? God! We have all these hot dogs. I guess we'll just have to eat them.
The winner gets 4 fishbucks, which is quite a bit of money. That's crazy because it's like a mini challenge, and the baby challenge was for 1, so high stakes. On top of that, they also have a business retention challenge, I guess you could call it.
Here's like what I mean by think about what could be relevant about asset and debts as you're listing them out and you're typing them out on your Excel sheet.
And after the hot dog eating challenge, each fish is going to have a sit-down one-on-one with the business guru to see who retained the most info for 1 fish buck. So dumb. Like, while they're eating all these stupid hot dogs, they also have to like listen to crappy crypto advice. It's such a dumb show. Letty wins the challenge by eating 12 hot dogs. She may have cheated, so Jet just spreads the winnings amongst Vance, Josie, Damiel, and Letty since they were all pretty close. And he also announces that our first real elimination challenge will happen the following Friday. Day 13. Another pretty lackluster day in the tank. A new ability was added for the viewers. You can now pay to have a sound effect play somewhere in the house. These sound effects include fart zone, eating ASMR 2, angry Asian man, audience laughing, audience cheering, doom, mariachi band, hysterical breakup, and massacre. Letty and John seem to be getting much closer in the house, but I suspect it's because Letty realizes that nobody else in the house really likes her at this point, and John is like the weakest link, so she's kind of just digging her hooks into him. There have been numerous convos about how no one really likes Letty because she's a snake and a liar and lazy and never cleans, etc.
What are your thoughts on her? Like, do you trust her? What do you think?
Oh, she tried to go back on her deal. She made me feel.
Isn't that kind of weird?
And whose idea was to check the baby? Yours or hers?
It was hers.
At some point, the fish are given walkie-talkies. I think on the other end, it's Nick Rochefort, but it's unconfirmed, so don't quote me on that. Either way, the person on the other end of the walkie-talkie has just been like talking shit to the fish, trying to antagonize them. The white shark at one point locks Letty, Josie, and Damiel in a room together. As I mentioned, the person at the other end of the walkie-talkie is antagonizing Damiel, getting him all riled up to the point where he starts to lose it, specifically targeting his anger towards Letty.
Dude, you're so fucking annoying.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Isn't that dramatic? Are you a fucking superstar yet, Damian?
I'm getting there! I'm getting there! I'm getting there!
We'll find out. We'll be Damian with the floor.
Yell to get your
Shut up! Shut up!
Damian.
And that's really it for day 13. Not much happened on this day. Also, I think the only day that doesn't have an appearance from Gold Striker, day 14. Someone spilled a drink in Letty's room and she accuses Damiel and Vance of the transgression. Letty really won't let it go, which pisses off Damiel, who gets revenge by dumping a can of chili all over her bed. Then the fish are given copies of Simmons' collection of literature. John has shell-shocked Vietnam flashbacks of his almost gay relationship with a potential pedo, triggering his PTSD and going into a schism, ripping up the books.
This is educational from the
Gold Striker arrives and smashes the cabinets for no reason.
Bird.
He then berates the fish for not being entertaining enough up until now. So as punishment, he wants to teach them a lesson in humility and to be grateful and thankful. And thus we introduce the handicap challenge. This will be our first actual elimination challenge. Each fish gets some sort of disability, or in some cases a secondary disability.
It's the wheelchair challenge. You're going to be thankful at the end of this because you're going to know exactly what it's like to have gratitude.
And whoever doesn't pretend to have the disability the most will be sent home. This will be tracked on an infraction system. Infractions will be tracked by fans and manually reviewed by the production crew. Whoever has the most amount of infractions by the end of the challenge will be eliminated. The disabilities were assigned as follows: wheelchair bound, schizophrenic, amputee, deaf, blind, fucked up. I'm not even joking, that's what the disability is called. He just has a bunch of disabilities. He has like a neck brace and crutches.
John, you were officially fucked up. You were in a vicious car accident. Here are your crutches. Wait, there's chili on them still.
They will be allowed to use guerrilla style tactics this time around.
This time around, you are welcome to, we are engaging dirty tricks mode.
And the last component of this challenge is that there are t-shirts on sale for each of the fish. Whoever sells the most merch, the most t-shirts in this time period, will be immune from elimination, which is like a genius play on Jason Goldstriker's part. Just a way to sell merch and get like the people in the house to essentially advertise the merch for him.
Oh, by the way, I'm so pissed off that none of you are being interesting. I'm gonna go get a fucking homeless black guy to come in here and be your new roommate. I'm serious. You're going to be rooming with a homeless black guy soon. And that is punishment for not being entertaining. I think that about covers it.
We're going to get the homeless black guy?
Yeah, we are. I have to rent a car and drive around and find one.
That'd be badass. I'm actually looking forward to that. Hard to find a aggressive form.
Letty instantly goes into panic mode, shilling herself out to sell t-shirts to her fans. She reveals her feet on camera, which was like a huge request by a lot of people in chat since day one. She eats the chili off her bed under the promise that someone will buy her shirt.
Yum. Yummy chili. Is that what you want? Did you get what you wanted, you sick freak?
Josie removes the eyes from one of her plushies so they can be blind with her. And Vance might be up for some kind of like Emmy for Best Actor because his psycho ramblings are so real and spot on. Like it almost seems like he had done some method acting training for this role in the past, if you know what I mean.
Vance, that lamp-shaped person to your left wants to kill you.
TTS has been playing the part of the voices in Vance's head and are trying to convince him that the key to his psychosis and figuring it out is inside one of Josie's plushies. So Josie is now on Schizo Watch.
Gonna stand guard for schizos. Proxito. If I see someone waiting right in the brain, you got a mental disability?
So that's it for week number 2. As we move on to week number 3, honestly, I didn't know like how much things would evolve in the house from week 1 to week 2, but it seems now that we're here at the end of week 2 that we've only really seemed to be scratching the surface. It's really hard to tell with Sam Hyde. Like you always get this sense of he doesn't know what he's doing and he's just kind of making it up as he goes along, which might actually be happening, but it's also very possible that all this was planned out. It's Sam. You'll never be able to know. I'm excited for week 3, but that's it. Bye, guys.